Hello and good morning, everyone. This is probably going to be a quick review for you guys from a little bit of algebra that you may have learned in 8th grade or ninth grade. Um, this is just going to be a quick little review of solving equations. So something that I want to start off with is we need to remember what an equation is. So an equation is simply just it is a mathematical statement that consists of an equal symbol. So you can think of an equation as it has an equal symbol, right? And we also know that it's between two algebraic expressions. So like an expression would be something like x plus 3, okay? So that's an expression because it doesn't have an equal sign. But an equation is two expressions set equal to each other. So if we had x plus 3 or even 12 alone is an expression, okay? So x plus 3 equals 12. Or you could have x plus 3 equals 12 plus 6. That's also an equation, okay? Because x plus 3 and 12 plus 6 are expressions. They don't have an equal sign. But what makes it an equation is that it has the equal sign. So with that said, we're just going to jump into like a quick little review of how to solve these types of expressions, or these types of equations. So when you have something such as, in this case, x plus 3 equals 12. So I'm looking at this first example right here, okay? And it tells us that any addition equation, I'm reading this, any addition equation can be solved by adding the opposite. So if it's x plus 3 equals 12, we need to find the opposite of positive 3. Well, the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. So we're going to add the opposite. And remember that you have to add the opposite to both sides. So if I'm adding negative 3, which is the opposite of positive 3, on both sides, maybe some of you remember that adding a negative is the same thing as if you were subtracting a positive. So when I have 12 plus negative 3, essentially I'm saying it's 12 minus 3. Well, what is 12 minus 3? And that's what's done right here. It equals 9. Well, positive 3 minus positive 3, well, what is that? That's 0. So a lot of people like to say cancel. I don't really like that term, canceling, but you're eliminating something because now it equals nothing. So we're left with x, and we just drop x down. So now x is equal to 12 minus 3, which is 9. Okay, so just to check up on ourselves, if we were to plug that back, this number, I like to call this a little bit of a plug and chug. Okay, you're plugging in a number and chugging something out, and that result is your answer. So if x equals 9, if I was to substitute, and that's what this is doing over here, if I was to substitute x for 9, would it equal 12, which is our original equation? So x plus 3 equals 12. Well, x is 9, so 9 plus 3. Does that equal 12? And that's what this question mark here is for. And yes, it does. 9 plus 3 is 12, and 12 equals 12. So check. We know that it works. So let's go to another example of it. And again, this is just going to be a quick review. So negative 2 equals s minus 8. Well, we need to find the opposite of negative 8. Well, what is the opposite of negative 8? It would be positive 8. Okay? So we're going to, in this case, we're subtracting. So we're going to, any subtraction equation can be written as an addition. So we're going to add its opposite. So we're going to add negative 8. So now we have negative 8 plus negative 8. Sorry, my apologies. We're going to add positive 8. I'm not sure why I said negative. So negative 8 plus, and I'm looking right here if you need some context. Negative 8 plus 8 is going to equal 0. So we get rid of that. S now equals, what is negative 2 plus 8? Because what you do to one side has to be done to the other side. Negative 2 plus 8 is 6. Bingo. So let's check ourselves. If we plug it back into the original problem, which is this right here, are we going to get what it is equal to? So negative 2 equals S minus 8. Negative 2 equals, we got 6 for S, so let's plug that in here. Negative 2 equals 6 minus 8. Well, is that true? What is 6 minus 8? Positive 6 minus positive 8 equals negative 2. So yes, that works. So we know that we have the correct answer that way. All right, and now down here. W minus, and then in parentheses it's negative 5, equals 4. Well, if you remember, subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding. So now we have W plus 5. Well, what is the opposite of positive 5? It is negative 5. So positive 5 minus 5, that is 0. And 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So we have W, because we pulled that W down, equals negative 1. So let's check ourselves. If we plug ourselves back in, we plug negative 1 in for W, which is what is done here. Then we will have negative 1 minus negative 5 equals 4. Well, again, subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding. So negative 1 plus 5 equals 4. Is that true? Well, yes, indeed it is. Okay, so I'm going to do a practice problem, and then I want you all to do the rest of them on your own. If you have any questions, be sure to email me or set up a Zoom meeting through our little help button on our virtual classroom. So x minus 7 equals 12. So I'm subtracting a positive number. So if I'm subtracting a positive number, that means that I need to do the opposite. So I'm going to add 7. Add 7. What is negative 7 plus 7? It is 0. So we bring that x down, and x equals, what is 12 plus 7? 12 plus 7 is 19. You guessed it. So x equals 19. Now let's plug that back in for our x to see if that is correct. So our original problem is x minus 7 equals 12. So let's plug in 19 for x. So 19 minus 7 equals 12. Is that true? Yes, it is. And we got the correct answer. Okay, if you guys have any problems with this, again, this is just a simple review so that we can start getting into our real geometry problems that I think you'll enjoy. But if you have any questions, let me know. Bye-bye.